engaging celebrity interviews, exciting updates from Christian filmmakers, movie reviews so you can choose your movies wisely, and so much more here on Faith on Film with Isaac Hernandez and Holly McClure.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Faith on Film. So excited you're with us today. Holly, we've got a lot to talk about today, don't we?
We do, and I love this time of year. This is when a lot of the our faith-filled movies have come, faith-based movies have come out. We call it, the more easy-friendly movies to go see. But we also have Hollywood movies that are coming for the holidays that are focused on family. So we're going to talk about a couple of those as well. And
okay.
We did the show.
Awesome. Now, it's interesting. I mean, I've seen, I look at see what's going to happen in our theaters, and I notice a lot of new movies are out right now. The only thing that I'm not happy about is that there's also a lot of horror type films, just really almost demonic looking films. But
we can say, the ones that are in theaters right now, that are still in theaters, are Best Christmas Pageant Ever, and that's going strong.
That's a great one.
So that's a good film that's out there right now. We love that Dallas Jenkins directed it. We interviewed it and talked about it, but it's still going strong. So again, folks, for you wanting to take your kids or family, it's a family-friendly, all ages. Now, little ones may lose it kind of because there's a lot of dialogue. I'm talking 4 and 5-year-olds, but really it is one you can take the whole family to. I think they'll enjoy seeing the kids, and it'll entertain everyone. So that's one of those that we can put at the top of the list. That's safe and it's right up there.
Yes, both my daughters and their families went to see it this past weekend, and they loved it. They really loved it.
Another one that's out there right now is The Wild Robot. That's been out for a while, but people are kind of catching on. It is based on a book, and so a lot of people are hearing about it and finally going, okay, let's go see it. And again, we interviewed the director, Chris Sanders, so we have a show where you can look that up and see it. And it's wonderful. We also did interviews for Best Christmas Pageant Ever. So if you want to hear interviews from the people that are in those movies and directed it, you can take a look at the past shows we've done. But those are right now still in theaters, so they're good for the holidays for families to go see. Now, what you were talking about, the other things that are coming out, Red One just opened, and I liked it, but it's got some things in it that I think may be questionable for some families. So let's take a look at the trailer, and we'll talk about it.
All righty.
Rocking around Christmas tree at the Christmas party hop. This will go on where you can see and it's up for time.
Hi, Jack.
Cool place.
Welcome to the North Pole.
Come again?
Last night, Red One, also known as St. Nicholas of Myra, was abducted.
Are you saying Santa Claus has been kidnapped?
You're the best tracker in the world. You're gonna help us find him.
I work alone. You used to. I'm not gonna like you. I can tell right away. Out of everyone here, I like you the least. Garcia? What the hell? Should we do the thing? I'm afraid we're gonna have to.
You're mine until we find him.
Oh, God!
I suggest you get going.
Guys! We doing some last-minute Christmas shopping?
Toy stores.
Toy stores what?
The supply closets are portal stations for the North Pole transit system. Grab a car. We're gearing up.
How did...
I adjusted it to reality.
And does that...
No, it doesn't work on everything. No, you can't try it. No, you can't drive. No more questions. Now get in. Whoever took Nick, they're extremely dangerous.
With a tail as big as a
I think if you don't need me here, I might just go back to the car.
We are 24 hours to Christmas.
We need to find him. Let's save Christmas. Say it.
I'm not going to say that.
things are about to get real. Cover us. We got snowmen!
Well, it was nice to meet you, Cal. Good luck with everything.
Well, that's different.
It's very different. And the thing is, I saw it and I'm like, oh, I don't, okay, you know. So I went to the screening and watched it. I gotta tell you, Isaac, I was surprised at what I thought it was going to be, because I thought it was going to be just a sticky kind of, you know, jokes, and kind of goofy, because it looked that way in the trailer. I was surprised at what a cohesive storyline there was there to tie in, and how entertained I was. It's a PG-13, so let me first say this. For those of you who saw the trailer, you just saw it, you see that there are creatures in there, like the Star Wars-looking creatures, you know, remember that. There are, it's a mention of witches, you know, and it's this witch that wants to get rid of all the naughty on the naughty list. So surprisingly, she wants to eliminate the naughty list people, capture them, and keep them. And there's a plot to do that. There are trolls in this movie. There's abominable snowmen that don't die unless you pull the carrot from their nose, and then they do. So there's these creatures and these things like that, but it works in the storyline. So it's a PG-13. So I'm saying it is for preteens to adults. I am not saying this is for children, although there were children in the screening I was in. I'm saying, as a discerning parent, you know what you want your kids to hear. There is language. There's some, you know, small language. It's not no religious profanity, but there is some curse words in there. And there's violence where they're fighting the characters. There's nothing graphic. It's not that kind of thing. But they're, you know, fighting and bursting snowmen, you know, things like that. So it's that kind of thing. But it's funny. I was amazed at how Dwayne, you know, you guys, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he plays not an elf, but his character is ELF because he fights for Santa. He's his bodyguard. And J.K. Simmons is not who I thought Santa would be like. It's not your traditional heavy-set, large Santa. And I'm like, oh, is this going to work? And it did. It's so funny. The whole premise is about how, you know, Elf says, what says, like, this is my last year. I've put in 500 and something years. You know, I'm tired of it. He sees, they visit a mall. Santa gets to pretend like he's Santa, which he's real Santa. And they see all the people fighting, and they see the kids fighting, and they see the bad behavior, and they see kids stealing things, and adults trying to steal candles. And he goes, the Christmas spirit is lost because I want to quit. I can't do this anymore. And Santa says, do one more run with it, just one more. And he goes, okay. And it's about how you've got to see the kid in everyone, even bad people, bad adults, have a kid in them that needs to be found, needs to be nurtured, needs to be discovered. So the whole thing goes, our whole thing is about kids. Our whole job is about kids, to make them happy and find those kids that are not. So there really is a message in there. And at one point he says the line, he goes, well, you know, I'm tired of you know, adults with selfishness. He said, we now have more naughty people on the list than we have good people on the list because the world has gotten that way. I mean, it really is a reflection of today, Isaac. I was like, yeah, you're right. And then Santa says, yes, but you know what? There's good in everyone. We've got to find that good. We've got to bring that good. So that is the message in the story. So I have to say it has a good message. And it takes the original North Pole and it shows you how it expands it into this incredible, with an incredible sleigh, giant reindeer that are amazing. It is entertaining. It is beyond what you've ever seen in a movie as far as Santa, the North Pole, everything about it. It's different. And that's what I like about it.
All right, but it probably is safe to say it is not the best Christmas pageant ever, right?
It is not anything like that.
Now,
but you know, but I really feel like it. You know how Elf was that sweet kind of sweet.
I love
kitty
Elf,
and we love Elf. I see this kind of being not the same love and the same kind of kitty story, but it's kind of for the teens to adult. It's a story that takes it beyond, but it's that kind of feel that they're serious. It's not a joke. Like there's a real Santa. They're serious about the story. So that's where you can kind of come and believe it. But yeah, I like I say, I can't say it's for everyone. It's not. But we qualified, and I will say I did enjoy aspects of it.
But there are a lot of other movies that are out right now. They're not necessarily Christmas movies, but they're movies that seem to be doing pretty well.
That are getting ready to open. Like Wicked is getting ready to open. Haven't seen it yet. We're going to review that because I'm going to a screening. Haven't seen it yet, so we want to wait. And again, that is with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, and it's the free story. It's based on the play. So if anyone's seen the Broadway play Wicked, it's based on that. It's the free story of how those characters. Did you see it? Okay,
I saw the Broadway show. Yes.
So it's that in a movie form is what it is, and so you probably could speak more to the story as far as that goes. But it's really how they met, and that there's two sides to the story of how she became the Wicked Witch, because it didn't start that way. And so I know that that's the premise, but I want to wait to see the elements in it. But what did you think about the Broadway play? Did you like that?
I loved it. But I love Broadway. I love theatrical plays, and especially on Broadway, and I have had the chance to see certain things on Broadway. In fact, I think one of my favorite ones was not Snow White. It was what was it? Alice in Wonderland, I think. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Of course, my favorite one is Newsies. But anyway, I just don't remember the whole story, but I do remember really liking it. I went with my daughter, Melissa.
Well, you know what? They say that that she, Cynthia, her voice, they say, is so incredible that it matches, I think, Lena, that we're going to go on Broadway, it matches her voice. And they say she sings in this movie and it's powerful. So I'm really anxious to see it because the music, of course, I love that. Yeah. And I love musicals, so I love the sound part. So I'm a sucker for musicals, so I'm hoping it's not going to disappoint. But we will review that for our audience in an upcoming show. Sounds and good. Then also Gladiator's opening for the holidays. And there's probably a few more, but we'll have to wait till we can do those two.
Now that's a movie for manly men, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. One more thing I want to say too. One more thing I want to say. I want to see Wicked first, but I'm noticing a trend. Wicked has the witch. Okay.
Okay.
The red one has a witch in it. Okay. There's a movie last summer, Monster Summer, had a witch that was the main character. I'm noticing this more in movies. That for a while we were seeing devil. Everything was about the devil.
Right.
Now I'm seeing more witch. I'm just saying. You start noticing a trend. You start going, okay, there's this kind of witch, this kind of movie, this kind of. So I want the parents to be aware of that because it's how it's being portrayed. Again, in Red One, it was a witch that was kind of good because she wanted to get rid of evil, but that blurring of the lines.
Right.
And the Bible is very clear about witchcraft. So I just feel we have to protect our heart and our understanding and realize where things are as entertainment, realize where it crosses a line too. So we'll explore more about that after we see Wicked.
Yeah. Now, long time ago, remember that series Bewitched?
Yes.
So we were allowed to see it. My parents, I guess, weren't that strict. We would be able to see the
I was
show.
too. Loved it.
My wife was not allowed to. Her family were not allowed to watch that series because to them it's a witch. Whether it's a good witch or a bad witch, it's a witch. And they were much more strict than we were. And I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if if we should have been stricter. But nonetheless,
you're right because we were kind of groomed for that. Weren't we?
Yeah.
Groomed at a young age. Oh, it's fun. She was sweet. She was nice. She used it in a good way. Everyone wanted to twitch your nose.
Exactly. And how cute was that? Not kind of witch, but
yeah, and her mom, Amanda, and just the way that everything, and it was a very family-friendly way to group. You're right, we didn't think of it. And my mom was, I'm telling you, my mother's name was Mary. She was literally Mother Mary, we used to call her. So she was as Christian as you can get. But, she let us watch it too, so I don't know, maybe we were in the bad side of it. Sure, but now that you bring that up, that's true. It's kind of been culturally in there. And then Hocus Pocus for Halloween. Hocus Pocus was they just re-released that after 20 years or something. And that came out. I don't know. I'm just aware of it, and I want to be aware of it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else out there going on?
Well, this last week I had a pretty exciting week at Capernaum Studios, and actually out of Capernaum Studios. And I want to share with the audience what we did and what we worked on. In fact, we interviewed Tammy at our content conference.
That's right.
And Tammy is the owner and founder of Capernaum Studios, and I work with her as the marketing director for Capernaum Studios. And she directed the movie and made the movie Washington's Armor, and the first one. It's on Amazon Prime. She has had a heart to do a follow-up and tell the story of how he went to war, how George Washington had holes in his jacket. For those of you who don't know, because I actually found people on set who didn't know this, when George Washington fought the battle at Monongahela, in Fort Parker, the Indians, the Red Hawk, was firing at him. The Red Hawk ordered his men to fire and shoot at George Washington. 11 times he ordered them to shoot. 11 times. Well, George Washington fell off his horse and went to the battle. He was wounded. He got up. They were in there, fixing him up in the medic tent and in his private quarters. And he washed his jacket. When the guy brought the jacket to him, he held the jacket up, and there was 4 bullet holes in his jacket. And he said, "Did you see this? Did you know?" And Washington didn't know that he had been shot. So later on, he met up with Red Hawk, Chief Red Hawk, and Red Hawk said to him, "I sent my warriors to shoot you 11 times, and we could not kill you." And then he said, "We see that you have holes in your jacket. We know that the Almighty Spirit spared you. And because he spared you, you are going to be the father of the nation. You will be a great leader and a great father. And for generations, they will know about you, and they will follow you and know about you." He prophesied George Washington becoming the president of the United States. So this is a powerful story. Yeah. It's an amazing story that Tammy wants to tell. And do we have an interview of her that we played? Let's set the stage with that.
Let's go take a look at that interview, and then when we come back, you can tell us all about what you did this past few days.
It is my honor and pleasure to introduce you all to someone. I've been talking about Capernaum for months and months, a year now, and it's exciting to introduce you to the person who I work for Capernaum. Tammy Lane, welcome. She's going to be talking today about Capernaum Studios and much more. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Holly.
So fun to have her on Faith on Film. This is such a unique experience. I wanted to get some words with her today. We're at the content conference, as you guys know, and we want to talk about Capernaum and an exciting kind of announcement that we want to talk about, something coming for this event. Now, this is content, which is separate from Capernaum, but we sponsor the event, right?
Yes.
And tell how important it is to bring them here to Capernaum.
Well, the Lord told me many years ago that we would have filmmakers here, and it took a really long time to bring filmmakers. But now look at this conference and how many filmmakers are here.
Yes.
It's really awesome. So I'm very thankful and blessed that everybody's here. They are learning. We're doing workshops. We're doing panels today. Some really good panels, and got all kinds of filmmakers, producers, directors, actors. It's a lot of fun.
And the idea of this, of having here, is to bring people in who want to be writers, directors, producers. Not everyone is going to make a movie, but some people want to write a script. Some people want to learn how to direct. Some people just want to know kind of how the general behind the scenes. So this, at Content, they have classes that teach everything. It has an opportunity to learn about everything, right?
Yes.
And that's what's fun about it. Now, we've also had fun because we have been introducing people to new additions since they were here last year. We have the Colonial Village, right? And then we have another Stage C. We've been calling it Emmaus House. It's another soundstage, a stage for people to use.
Holly named it Stage C, so that's what we're calling it now.
At least for today.
For today.
That may change. But we're doing that. So people that have been coming like, wow, there's new additions. So we're growing at Capernaum, aren't we?
Yes. And one of our main new additions is the lobby and bathrooms right outside here. So I'm really excited about that because last year people had to walk all the way through the village to the bathrooms. But this year they're just right there, very nice, and we've got it all set up. So
lovingly called our foyer.
The foyer, yes.
And then we, at Capernaum, first of all, just a little bit of history, how you started, because people are like, well, how did you? First of all, she is one of the few women, and I really want to mention this, who own a full production studio. There's not a lot of women in this country. People own sound stages, they own production companies, but we're talking about a studio. So it's very novel and unique. But look into the camera and tell people how you started this studio.
Well, the Lord started dropping films, short films, into my spirit. And so I wrote 7 biblical short films and really wanted to produce them. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had no idea. And so I knew one producer, and I called him up and I said, can you come help me make these films? And so he did, and he taught me everything. And we rented a soundstage much like this one, and we built a biblical village in it. And we built it in about 2 weeks, and then we tore it down in about a day or two. And that's what the Lord used to drop in my spirit to build the biblical village. And so that's, what I mean. I was passionate and very driven and knew that the Lord told me that. And then I had to go convince my husband,
which is the hard part,
that I needed to build this village, which he did not see it my way at first. But through much prayer, then he finally did, and he's very supportive now. But it was challenging getting everybody on my page.
On our page that the Lord was on. The Lord first put her on that.
On our page.
On our page.
Yes.
And you, for the 12 years then, you did produce some things, some films, right? And had some productions?
Yeah, I did short films, and we do live productions, as you know. And these are massive. We use the whole property, and we bring you through scenes with actors, live action scenes, and you feel like you're immersed in the experience. So we have an Easter show called The Crimson. That will be the next one coming up. So we encourage you to come. It's amazing.
But much like what people are doing here at Content, you had the learning process and actually hands-on learn, because you didn't know anything about making a movie or filmmaking. So it was a learning process for you as well.
Yeah, and when I've done one feature film, which is Washington's Armor, and doing that, I'd never done a feature film, and so that was, different than a short film. So it was, a lot more challenging to do that than it was the short films.
Yes.
But it was amazing, and it's on Amazon Prime now, and some other networks that you can watch it.
And it is a great film, and I mean it's a beautiful film. It's beautifully done. She directed this in amazing ways. In fact, there's a scene where he's pulled out of an icy river, and I was like, Tammy, where did you find that icy river to pull him out of? And wasn't he cold? And she laughed. Where was the icy river scene where he pulled him?
It was in our stage A right over there.
See, and I counted myself, I've been a critic for all these years and I can tell the difference. I couldn't tell the difference. I'm telling you, it's amazing. So go look on Amazon Prime. Funny fact, I just heard from someone, it's doing really well in Europe. The Europeans love the story of George Washington because it is the first part of his life and how he got into saving our country and becoming a president. Now, leading into that, you still have in your heart to tell more of the story, don't you, about George Washington?
Yes. So the first film was about his journey, his very first military commission, and then that was amazing. And God protected him miraculously during that story that's already out. And then the next one we want to do is called Bulletproof, and we want to do that story because it really shows the providence of God over his life. And he was shot 4 times in his jacket with musket balls, but it never touched his body. And so it's an amazing story. Plus, he meets the First Lady. He meets her, Martha, and just a lot of other fun stuff.
Now, this is a bigger film to do because it's got a battle scene, right? I mean, this is kind of a bigger scale maybe than the first one, or different anyway.
Well, the first one has battle as well, but this battle is bigger because it's the French and Indian War. It's a battle in the Battle of Monongahela in the French and Indian War. So that'll be challenging.
Are you going to a certain location? You're going to a fort to shoot this, right? Or some of the scenes?
So we're shooting a proof of concept teaser in November. And so, yes, we're going to Old Fort Parker, and that's in Groesbeck, Texas, and it's beautiful. I love that fort. I'm so excited to get to shoot there. It's an amazing place. So we're going to have some really cool scenes. Plus, we're going to shoot some of the battle and here, and some other things here. So
I am excited about that. For people, I just want you to know, because she won't say it, Capernaum does so much for the homeschool crowd, for the homeschool tours. We do tours for kids. This movie, these 2 movies actually are her passion. It's to tell the story of George Washington history. She's a patriot, so she wants to tell the story. For those of you who've never been to Capernaum, it is an experience. Everyone here I've been talking to, it's like we thought it was one thing on the website, but then they come and it's a whole different thing. So you have a chance to contribute, to donate. If you'd like to donate, if you love George Washington and you want to donate to that film, we've got a way for CapernaumStudios.com that you can actually contribute. And some of you actually can do it in an interesting way and maybe even be a background extra. We have a couple of fun things for that to do. But I mean, it's also with a studio to donate to Capernaum Studios. This is a place that God has not only destined, but everyone that comes on here so they can feel the Spirit of the Lord, can't they? That's what we get all the time.
Yeah, because it's not just about us and what we're doing. We empower filmmakers, and we want other filmmakers to be able to come and film and do their own projects and, get the story of the Lord out there.
Right. So if you want to contribute to that because you have a passion and believe in that too, if you're a homeschooler and you want to see what we have to offer for homeschoolers, check out our website. There's a lot going on at Capernaum Studios. And Tammy, I'm excited. Thank you for coming on with me. Thank you. It was so neat interviewing her. My preference. I'm so excited. Thanks for coming on.
I'll see you at work.
See you at work real soon, like after we get off.
Wonderful interview, Holly. But you had a fun time this week, didn't you?
We did. We went down, first of all, we went down to shoot at a real fort. And for those of you who don't know, if you're in Texas, there is a real fort, Fort Parker, that's in Mexia. It's just south of Mexia, Texas. It's about 2 hours south of Fort Worth, the Fort Worth area. We went down and shot and, of course, set up tents and set up an arrangement to make it look like the day that they go through the fort. This is a scene that Tammy wanted to show. Now, they had special effects. The people got shot with bullet holes. Of course, our special effects person, Randy, applying and making that look like it's real. These people came from all over. They wanted to be part of it, and they played extras, which was fun, background extras. And a lot of times we do that. We get a chance to be a background extra. And so it was really fun to see them and have them be a part of it. And a lot of these people had never even been on a film set before. This was their first time to be on a film set and see what it was all about. We did a scene where the wagon goes through the village kind of area, and it goes by the medic tent, and it goes by the laundry tent. And so they had horses and wagons and stagecoach and soldiers and British soldiers, and it was fun. It really was a day of shooting that at Fort Parker. We shot for 2 days down there. We shot scenes with Red Hawk Indians and others, but I can't show you those scenes because it's going to be a surprise. But we did shoot a lot of that. And then we had a chance to also shoot a scene where Washington confronts him at the front of the fort. And this is the part where he said about the bullet holes. He said, we tried shooting you 11 times. So we shot that scene down at the fort, which was amazing. And I have to tell you, Tammy did an amazing job at directing everything. And she had a wonderful DP, Joshua, who was amazing on camera. We had second unit. We had a lot of other stuff.
But Holly, we've run out of time today. As always, it just seems to fly like that, doesn't it?
I know. I'll get the pictures next time, okay? And we'll get some pictures to shoot next time. We'll do that.
All right.
It was
Folks,
fun.
Yep. Don't forget to check out our website, faithonfilmtv.com. That's faithonfilmtv.com. All righty, Holly, until next week. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Write to us at faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. That's faithonfilmtv@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Faith on Film TV. Also, go to our YouTube channel, Faith on Film TV, and hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications on our latest Faith on Film shows.